Hi, it's Josh Marshall from TPM Media. It's Wednesday, July 16th, 2008, and today we're going to ask the question, if a flip flops in the wilderness but no one hears, did it really flop? More prosaically, today we're going to talk about the way that news stories sometimes don't get picked up by the media if they don't fit in with the dominant narrative of the campaign. A case in point is the battle now taking place between Barack Obama and John McCain over foreign policy issues, and specifically over their consistency on issues like Iraq and Afghanistan. As you know, Barack Obama has taken a lot of heat over the last 2 or 3 weeks over the question of whether he has shifted his position on withdrawing from Iraq. Is 16 months a commitment, or is it only a goal and one that he'll possibly adjust in consultation with his military advisors? Now, as we've written on TalkingPointsMemo.com, we think the charge is basically a bum rap, but even the debate is over relatively minor nuances of position. Deadlines versus goals. But yesterday, John McCain changed his position pretty much 180 degrees on Afghanistan, and barely anybody took notice of it as a change of position. Now let's back up for a moment and look at the background on Afghanistan policy. Now, attention has been shifting to Afghanistan from Iraq, and actually of late there have been more troop deaths in Afghanistan than in Iraq, which is a huge turnabout from the way things have been going back almost 5 years now. Now, Barack Obama has been arguing for almost a year that Afghanistan is our real priority, not Iraq, and that we should take at least 2 brigades that we're pulling out of Iraq and send them to Afghanistan to beef up our presence there. Over the same period of time, John McCain has been arguing just the opposite. He says that the real central front in the war on terror is Iraq, and the troops need to stay there, not send new troops to Afghanistan. In a speech just yesterday on Iraq and Afghanistan, McCain turned on a dime and now says that we actually should send at least 3 brigades to Afghanistan and put together what he calls another surge to get the same success in Afghanistan that he says we've had in Iraq.
If I'm elected president, I'll turn around the war in Afghanistan, just as we have turned around the war in Iraq, with a comprehensive strategy for victory. That strategy will have several components. Our commanders on the ground in Afghanistan say that they need at least 3 additional brigades. Thanks to the success of the surge, these forces are becoming available, and our commanders in Afghanistan must get them.
Now, this was pretty clearly John McCain reacting to the new and very troubling news out of Afghanistan and basically adopting Barack Obama's stance that he's held for about a year. But as you can see in today's papers, there's almost no discussion of that aspect of the story, that this is a case where McCain is changing his position to adopt Obama's. And the reason is, I think it's pretty clear, it's not part of the dominant campaign narrative, which is all about Barack Obama and whether he's coming off his position on Iraq. But that's only part of the problem. Where does John McCain get the troops? As you know, Barack Obama gets those troops for Afghanistan from withdrawing them from Iraq. But John McCain has been steadfast on holding the troops that we currently have in Iraq there. And recently, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said very clearly that while we need extra troops in Afghanistan, we don't have any until we can take some out of Iraq. So again, where does John McCain get the troops?
Admiral, can you talk about the number and type of troops that are expected, the extra troops that are expected to go to Afghanistan in 2009?
No decisions with respect to that. The president at Bucharest made a commitment, and as I recall, his phrase was sometime in 2009. I can't be any more specific with respect to that. I don't have troops I can reach for, brigades I can reach to send into Afghanistan until I have a reduced requirement in Iraq.
In his speech, McCain said that these would be American troops, but just after, when he was talking to reporters, riding on the Straight Talk Express, seemingly seeing that there was this problem, he said that in fact they wouldn't be American troops, but rather NATO troops. And a short time after that, his spokeswoman said that wasn't quite sure what the distribution would be. There'd probably be some American troops and some NATO troops. So you basically had McCain changing his position and then refining it or fine-tuning it a couple times over the course of a few hours. But again, press coverage on this, very little so far. We're actually looking for examples of the media picking up on this angle of the story. So if you find them, send them to the email address right here at the bottom of the screen, talk@talkingpointsmemo.com, and we'll be looking too. I'm Josh Marshall for TPM Media, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.